Hey, my name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III, and what we're going to be talking about today is the 8-step sequential process under the SSA's POMS guidelines for what's called a continuing disability review. Most attorneys and people who work for law firms will reference those as CDR. CDR is equal continuing disability review process. So let's go ahead and go through what a CDR is. A CDR is basically where you've been found disabled before, and they're now reviewing your record to see whether or not you are still disabled and therefore still capable of receiving and being eligible to receive your disability benefits. Okay, we're going to be covering DI. This is POMS, so Program Operation Manual System. Okay, POMS DI 28005.015. Again, 28005.015. We're going to go through this 8-step sequential process and kind of walk you through what each one means, and then you can start to work on how you're going to build your claim against the SSA when you get a CDR CDR letter, and that's a continuing disability review letter. It is really bright. Hold on. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and begin this process. The first element of a CDR for the 8-step sequential process is, are you as a person, are you receiving SGA? Meaning, are you working and earning over that year's substantial gainful activity amount? Okay, so what does that mean? Well, it basically means, are you earning more than, in 2017, $1,170 a month? Okay, so it's a monthly SGA amount. Now I'm going to go through these quickly, and then I'm going to do a bigger version for each particular element. Okay. So we got past the SGA one, which is just like the 5-step sequential process. Are they earning SGA right up front? Okay. Now we're going to go on to the next one. Note 2 is, do they meet or exceed or equal a disability listing? So this is basically where they're kind of looking at your old evidence, they're looking at the new evidence that you have, and they're looking to see, okay, does the disability exist? Do you meet, equal, or exceed? Yada, yada, yada. If you don't know what a listing is or how that works, kind of look at my other videos. Then we go to step 3, medical improvement. Okay, that's MI. So they're looking to basically see if you have had a medical improvement. So let me give you an example of that, a really quick one. Somebody gets into a car accident, happens, they're really, really bad. But then 3 years later, they start to get better. They were blind in one eye, now they have eyesight back again, yada, 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 all these details. So that's realistically what we're looking for from this particular situation is, did they improve? And was that improvement substantial enough to the point that which they would no longer meet, equal, or exceed a listing? Okay. All right. So we did number 3. Now let's pop over to number 4, relating MI, okay, to the ability to work. So this is where they look at basically the things that you used to, have wrong with you versus the new medical evidence that comes in. And what they're trying to figure out here is, okay, has a medical improvement really increased for your particular claim to the point in which you could potentially, maybe you're close, maybe you're not, do some sort of vocational job, whether it be, a small one like a ticket to work, or whether it be, a really intense one all the way at the top of being the CEO of a rocket, science lab or something like that, some think tank. Okay. So they're looking to see whether the medical improvement relates to your ability to basically go and do other work. So, the first element was SGA. Are you actually working and earning? Are you earning too much to become ineligible? And then we get, of course, over to here, which is element number 4. Let's say you're not working, cool, or you are working and earning a very small amount. What are you actually capable of? That's when it comes to work. That's what we're really looking at here. What are you actually capable of? Now, step 5 is the exceptions element of this 8-step sequential process. I want to make something really clear to you that this is kind of like the anything goes, area that's not within the normal subset of traditional rules. This could be anything. This is, you were an eligible citizen, now you're not an eligible citizen. You were a citizen, now you're not. You had this card, and now you don't have this card. This is where there could be anything, and I mean anything in the file that could be an exception to eligibility or one of these elements, statutes, laws, SSRs, POMS, HALEX rules. It could be any one of these things that gets you kicked out at this point due to the step 5 exceptions. Okay, we're going to go into more detail later on that, but I'm trying to give you a quick run through on this stuff. All right, now we're going to go into what's called step 6. All right, step 6 is the severity test. Very simple. They're looking to see how severe your disabilities are in relation to their expectations of what you should have. So they expect, obviously, that, when you first went through this process, there was a 5-step sequential process. Element 2 was, hey, did you have a disability that's going to last at least 12 months, have lasted 12 months, will last 12 months, yada, 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 right? Okay, so that's how we defined whether a disability was severe back in the day. So we're going into another situation like this. Okay, with medical improvement, is their disability expected to last, blah, blah, blah. Will it end at some, blah, blah, blah. Has a medical provider given an acknowledgement or a notion that this might not last, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so basically, that's your element 6. Okay. Element 7, past work. Okay, this is where they're looking at your past work. So let's say you did do some jobs while you were working, or while you were disabled, and now you're not working, or you're still working at one of them. They look at your past work to see whether or not you could continue to do your past work and do it at the SGA level. This is kind of like step 4 of the 5-step sequential process. They do the whole, past 15 years shindig, but in this particular case, they're not so much looking at the ones that were already adjudicated, which just means judged. At this, little junction in the road, they're just looking basically to see whether or not, you could do those jobs you did after your adjudication. That's the main point there. They can look back, but the main thing here is they're looking to basically see if you can go ahead and do those jobs. All right, those jobs. Step 8, other work. So just like step 5 of the 5-step sequential process, very simple, very straightforward. Could you do other work in the national economy? Blah, 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 so on and so forth. They're looking here to basically see, okay, let's say that you are working, but it's a, very simple job, not that many hours, doesn't equate to SGA, doesn't equate to a full-time job. They're now looking, okay, if you couldn't do your past relevant work or the jobs that you did after your last adjudication, but before the CDR began or during it, now they want to know, okay, so could you do other types of jobs? If you did a medical cleaning job, could you do more hours with that job to equate to a full 8-hour workday? Because remember, this whole system is based upon, can you as a person do 8 full hours of work consistently throughout the work week, all right, and basically be able to go forward and continuously do that just like the average American with working. Why? Because they're looking to see if you can earn enough to be self-supportive. All right? Excuse me. My name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA, an Orlando, Orange County-based Social Security disability law firm. I'll catch up with you a little bit later. You have an absolutely wonderful day. And remember, if you want the most up-to-date information or you want something to be discussed, it's fine. Shoot me an email or give me a call. This obviously is not going to have the most up-to-date information. And if you want to catch up at some further point on something, that's fine. Or if you want a video done on a particular topic, I've done more videos than pretty much any other attorney out there when it comes to disability law. I have. That's not, pretty much it is a fact at this point. So if you want something weird covered, let me know and I'll work on it. All right, you have an absolutely wonderful day and we'll go from there. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.